Hello everyone, this is Miss Salma, and today we're going to talk about similes and metaphors. And after we finish this lesson, you'll be able to recognize the difference between a simile and a metaphor, and why do we actually use them. So similes and metaphors, they are used for comparison and to give also extra image. How? You'll know when we move further into the lesson. All right, let's get started. And I know you can do it. All right, so what's a simile? A simile is where two things are directly compared and as or like are usually used to compare, or like one of them is usually used to compare. Example, as cold as a dog's nose. For example, I can say that the weather or the floor was as cold as a dog's nose. Here I'm using for the simile as adjective, which is cold as cold as a dog's nose. So I have as adjective as, which is the thing I want to describe the floor with, and the two things of comparison or two parts of comparison here, or like, yeah, what I'm comparing the floor to, which is the dog's nose. So first part is the floor was, and then the second thing I'm comparing it to is the dog's nose. And what's common between them is both of them are cold. Again, the other example says, he was slow like a snail. I can just stop, I can just say he was slow and stop. But I want to create extra image. I want to say that he was very, very, very slow. Maybe exaggerate even. So he was slow like a snail. I'm adding like a snail to add extra image. Again, I'm using similes and metaphors to add extra image. We usually use them in descriptive writing, as we mentioned before. Also in poetry, descriptive writing or descriptive stories. They are usually narrative and descriptive too, as we mentioned during the revision. That narrative and descriptive go along with each other and also with poetry. So he was slow like a snail. Here I'm comparing or describing or comparing the boy to the snail. What's common between both of them is that both of them are slow, the boy as well as the snail. Okay, and I'm using like to create the simile. Again, I can just say he was slow, but this is not going to give a strong or as a strong meaning as when I say like a snail, because we all know that snail is so slow. So you're going to imagine how slow he was, not just normal slow, he was super slow. All right, next, metaphor. Metaphor also compares two things, and it also adds extra image, but it does it more directly without using as or like. It's done more directly, like we just use usually verb to be without using any as or like. The shop was a little gold mine. The shop was a little gold mine. So what do you think? Here I have, I'm comparing the shop to the little gold mine, but I don't have what's common. What's common between these two things is not written in the sentence. So what do you think is common between the shop and the little gold mine? Maybe both of them have lots of jewelry. Maybe it's a jewelry store. All right. So both of them have lots of jewelry, lots of money, lots of gold. Okay, so again, in the metaphor, I do not mention what's common. What's common between the two things I'm comparing is not mentioned. However, you just think, what's a little gold mine? And just imagine that the shop is a little gold mine. Or, for example, when I say that the class, I usually use this, the class is an oven. I did not say the class is hot. But when I say oven, What's very known about ovens is that they are so hot. So when I use oven, you know that the like what's very known or a very known feature about the oven is that they're always hot. Then of course I mean that the class also is hot, but the weather is too hot in the class. Okay. So again, I don't say the adjective in the metaphor. Okay. Next, more examples, and here I would want you to guess or tell me, are they metaphors or similes? Let's see how clever you are. I know you are. All right, let's go. As slippery as an eel. Eel is a type of fish. It looks like a snake. It's a type of fish that looks like a snake, but it's a fish. And it's very slippery and soft. Its body's so soft and slippery. Like if you put your hand, it slips. So I can say that the floor is as slippery as an eel. So is this a simile or a metaphor? Waiting for you. Very good. It's a simile for those who said it's a simile. Super. It's a simile. Why is it a simile? Because we're using as adjective as slippery as. Again, the two things I'm comparing is the floor, the eel, and the common feature between both of them is that both of them are slippery, and it's a simile. Next, he was a lion in the battle. He was a lion in the battle. Here, I'm comparing the man or the boy, he, to a lion. So what are the known features or the characteristics of a lion? When I tell you a lion, you think of lions as what? Brave, strong, fearsome, frightening, right? So he was a lion in the battle. So all of these features of the lion or characteristics of a lion are also like characteristics of the man in the battle. He was brave, he was strong, he was fearsome, like the enemies were afraid of him. All right, so this is a metaphor. Very good. Why? First, I don't have the adjective. The adjectives which are brave, strong, and fearsome are not mentioned directly. And also we don't have as or like. This is very important. As or like is the key. Okay, next. She is as pretty as a picture. She is as pretty as a picture. Here I have as, adjective as, which makes it a simile. Maybe like a painting, piece of art. She's as pretty as a piece of art. So it's a simile. The girl and the picture are both pretty. Pretty. Okay. Next. The striker was a goal machine. What's a goal machine? Who knows? A goal machine. It's like a machine that scores lots of goals and it never misses any goal. It's very accurate. It's an accurate machine. It never misses the goal, right? So the striker or the person who like plays at the front, like Muhammad Salah, I guess, is like one of the strikers, as far as I know. Was a goal machine, was very accurate. He never missed the goal like a goal machine. Okay, I hope everything's clear. So here I'm not mentioning that, I'm not saying that the striker was so accurate. The striker did not miss any of the goals. The striker scored all the goals he had, or all the opportunities, or all the chances he had, he scored them. I'm not saying this, I'm just saying a very simple sentence. The striker was a goal machine, a machine that never misses the goal. It's very accurate without saying very accurate and all these adjectives, right? So this is a, do I have as or like? Is it a metaphor or a simile? It's a metaphor. Very good. Okay, and um, that was it for today's lesson. I hope it was informative and easy. And yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. Try to send me on LMS. Thank you. See you next time. Goodbye.